and honestly, it's just going to come down to which one plays better in this final game.
Look at the changes in the draft. WE go for the Kaisa. They go for the Yone. Big things that could potentially come out of nowhere. We know Creme used to play the Yone a decent amount. The Malphite's gone as well. The Jace is gone. The Yorick stays banned. And you got to also remember at the end of this, 50 champions will be banned away from the 170 plus that are available. A nice little chunk, and meaning that we might get some different comps coming into this one. But the key factor for WE all along has been meatball comps. Get something that Monki doesn't die on and stay together. So far, with the Kennen, the big AoE, it is centered around a kind of team fight style comp.
Yeah, not just the Kennen first pick, but the snap Kennen first pick. I think Cube was saying, if Kennen's open, insta-lock Kennen. Well, he's the one who gets to insta-lock it, so no wonder he must have clicked it so fast. And wow,
let's go.
Some of my friends would just love this top lane matchup right now. Vladimir versus Kennen, I mean, this is what Game 5s are all about. You don't see this in the regular season. This is why we're so glad to welcome, you know, the postseason and get to see some of these best of 5s, because when is the last time you saw this top lane matchup? This is as crazy as it gets.
And when you're talking about that, it is still something that 369 had kept in his wheelhouse, right? He has 20 plus games on the pick and has a 70-something% win rate, right? That's not too shabby for a pick that comes out every now and then. But the Nocturne is the biggest worry for me, because now you're going into a Mundo, a Sivir. It is very obvious what WE want out of this draft, and they're getting it so far.
We have been asking for it all night, it feels like. 5 drafts in a row. Please just put Monki on the Mundo. It's a bit of a signature pick for him. That theme has been going swimmingly. You know, he was on the Poppy on the other game they won. On both the games they won, he was on utility tank champions in the jungle. Skarner, Poppy, and now, finally, to help bring it home, could be the Mundo. But I can't help but focus on everything else going on here. We've got a Nocturne Kennen top, just absolutely as volatile as it gets. Somebody is going to be extremely fed, and somebody is probably not going to be having a very good time. I mean, if there's 0 kills up there in 15 minutes, I will be extremely surprised. Now we've got the Zeri coming in, which, I mean, I guess it's kind of something you've got to do. You've got to pick something to kill this Mundo. There's not many champs left. There's Jinx, maybe. I mean, you're not picking Vayne, of course. So, I mean, just take the Zeri. That's one of the things that can have high DPM, and that's going to put JiaQi in the driver's seat in that position where he needs to perform. But what better time than now?
I mean, we've been going to like 30 plus games every time with, as you said, like a kill a minute or so. We might be going later, Fools. We might be going like 45 minutes. We might be looking at the ends of the atmosphere of what a game can be right now in this meta, because we have some serious scaling composition, and I expect a lot of reservation from the teams in the early parts of this game. Now we are already through the second phase of bans. It looks like WE missed a ban. Unless that just isn't showing on their client side. This is the feed that we get from the LPL, and doesn't look like they have it there. See if that's a mistake or what happens. But the Braum and the Nautilus are the bans right now for top esports.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, the chess match just reaches such a extremely complicated level of nuance that how do you even know what to ban anymore? You know, it's just so extremely difficult. The Victor ban comes in. I suppose that's one of the better blind pick mids available. But it's going to be last pick for top esports either way. So we're going to have to see who they want to blind pick mid and who they want to answer support here.
A lot of weight to give the Creme, one of the guys that top esports is built around. He has seen changes all across his team, as well as 369. And they're really going to be relying on the pillars here. One of 369's historic champions, and giving Creme
lock that in
pick as the Yuumi gets locked in. And you know what sucks to kill more than just a Mundo? A Mundo with a Yuumi on.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
The Silas?
Wow.
Yo. We knew it was going to get spicy.
Wait, this is actually a cast at an angle. This is a real hover, I swear. Come on, do it. This is the best cast at an angle you're ever going to get in your entire career. Take it.
I got scaling weapons. I have scaling weapons. I have scaling weapons. I have scaling weapons. We're all scaling. We're just scaling all to infinity.
mean, that's cool
This would
too,
be
but
worse.
it's a bit less exciting. It's a bit less exciting. It's a really good pick though into the Sylas. You're pretty much just able to outrange him and just stack away at your own will. But this is the LPL. This isn't no slow and steady, gradual. I mean, it's supposed to be, but you already know Karis is going to come up with some aggressive ways to look for Creme here, because as the Sylas into Smolder, you do got to find some kind of looks to really burn the Smolder's flash, to trade onto him heavily, to even pick him out if possible. So it's going to be all up to Karis to help use his high agency champion this game.
He's got a lot of things that are pretty nice to take away. The only big question mark I have right now, and the only thing that's stopping me from super questioning it, is the Nocturne. He is 100% on the Nocturne, having played it 3 times competitively at least. But it feels so out of place for NaiYou on this top esports team right now.
Yeah, compositionally, it's very strange. He picked out on the second pick, just with Kennen showing. I mean, to be honest, it might just be that that's the idea. Just use the Nocturne Vladimir as a way to just shut down this Kennen in the side lane. But other than that, this Nocturne is going to have not the easiest of times really doing what he wants. There's a Mundo on the other team. They walk right into the Mundo.
Use Paranoia too. So like,
he sure can. He sure can. All of the ultimates are extremely good from the enemy team. Even the Smolder ult is like pretty good. But yeah, this Zeri ult, I just want to mention, is really good on Sylas. It has a really high AP scaling. So
all right,
I promise you, these are really good ults.
Well, it's gotten all the way to game 5. Our first best of 5, the JiaQi's roar. Man, I love it. We came into this series talking so much about the jungles being kind of the undercurrent for this team, and it truly has been the tail of the take here, or at least tail of the tape. We have seen Monki, when he's on these tankier, unkillable champions, be such a force to getting WE off the ground, and while NaiYou has been that connective tissue for the other side. But I gotta say one thing that it makes this one a little bit of a difference. Not only is he comfortable on Mundo, he's got the corporate skin. So Mundo goes where he pleases. He answers his business calls when he wants, and that business is to try to book that ticket into the playoffs that WE couldn't do at the end of Split 3 last year.
Yeah, presumably we're going to get to see the push narrative being pushed by Monki here on the Mundo. He's going to see exactly what this champ can do. I truly believe this champion has an overly high power level, to put it in a generous way. I think he's just so extremely impossible to kill. It's just absurd. Like, you can kill every other tank in the game except for this one. And they've got some tools for doing so. I mean, it's nice to have the Smolder execute. And sure, Zeri's got lethal tempo, but I can assure you, Mundo can withstand a lot of that and go exactly where he pleases either way.
Now we just need a corporate Nocturne skin. I guess I'll talk about the elephant in the room, or the cat in the corner, I guess. Yuumi is in bot lane. I'm not very happy about it, but you know what? It's there. It exists. But in all reality, it's actually a pretty crucial pick here in this matchup setup, at least the strategy for WE.
Yeah, I mean, the Yuumi pick, it's a bit random. You know, we're not really that used to seeing it, but I think it's quite good here. I mean, it's Fearless Game 5. Like, there's not many luxury picks available. And think about the targets that he's able to, you know, have as his driver. He's got a Mundo, which is going to be completely unkillable, regardless of heal reduction. He's going to have a Sylas, again, amplify his healing, his damage, his ability to play the game. And then Sivir is a really good kind of Yuumi driver as well. You just hop on Sivir's back, and she's just going to be extremely fast, doing a lot of damage, being really hard to kill. And I like it. The Yuumi even went for the Gathering Storm this game. That's my favorite rune in all of League of Legends, Mazel. So Yaoyao really based for the way he's playing this Game 5.
And further proof that we are going to like 50 minutes in this game. So I do expect the scaling to be a massive factor. And this is the first game, I feel like, in this series, at least, that we are getting that conversation of, well, both sides have really good scaling. So what it comes to is an arms race in the later part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, these comps, it's extremely vague as to which one outscales, at least from my perspective. Cube flashing into stun.
He is going to flash. He does have the Q reproc there. He's going to make it out alive. A lot of resources burned by WE. They did get the flash and the ignite out of 369, but had to burn Cube's flash.
I mean, really good news is that he doesn't have teleport, so you want to kill this minion wave as soon as humanly possible. These minions start getting denied from 369. I mean, it's not the best. You've only got even in CS. You're going to deny him some XP here, but it's pretty good. You definitely take what you get here as WE. He's going to have a pretty even state in the top lane. You're going to want to find some kind of use case for this Sylas, though. This champion is the one kind of X factor who doesn't necessarily, you know, want the game to go to minute 40.
Oh.
Cheers
Monki just got that whole can, bro.
to Monki. But yeah, I want to see Karis make some kind of plays while he can, because he's the champion who thrives the most in this early mid game, whereas this late game is going to be pretty dominated by everybody else.
I think the only, and I feel bad for him at this point if I'm looking at it, right? Like, the only person that doesn't really scale and that needs to be proactive is NaiYou. Like, if everybody else in the game has serious scaling, he might just get left behind and become a light switcher if I guess WE had any say about it. But continuing a trend that we've seen in this series is the dragon have fallen to the wayside at this point. Still a lot of opportunities to get it, but both junglers just buying their time, trying to get to these level 6 marks.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right about the fact that Nocturne doesn't necessarily fit in all too well in terms of the scaling, but if anything, he can hopefully help be a bridge for these scalers to get to that point. We're going to see some fighting.
Creme can't do is go down early. Fengyue takes a brunt of damage, and that's going to be double bombs called. As 369 going low, it's going to be Cube that tries to get the kill on him, but NaiYou hit level 6, gets the kill. First blood for top.
Yeah, I expected there to be some combat up here all game in this top lane. Extremely close and unlucky for Cube there, with 369 living on the sliver of health that he did. But really lucky for 369 to get away with his life, and that's going to absolutely propel him into a really good state now with a 500 gold lead and counting for this top and jungle.
Having their 1.3k up, we'll lose a little bit of that after Dragon goes over to WE, but it's not nearly anything that's too bad as we take a look back at what happened in that earlier fight in top.
Yeah, Cube looking to all in immediately on this level 6 timer, and look how low 369 ends up getting here.
All the
on
Hemo
this
Plague heal.
Final instance of damage. He's literally less than 10 HP, barely surviving that, with NaiYou being, of course, in the right place at the right time. I will say, though, I will continue to be firm in my stance that it's generally all right to have things go awry as long as you get the objective. And they did, as WE. They got the objective. They have some leeway for things to not necessarily go their way. Let's just see if that can continue to be the case.
It's a Hextech Dragon to start, which is going to feel pretty good.
Exactly.
As we do have about 40 seconds for those grubs to spawn. I think that'll be the next big ticket item on the menu. As I guess we can take taxes of who takes the advantage in this one. I mean, you almost got first items being completed. A little bit of tankiness there from Monki. But more importantly, it's the ult combos that'll be coming through here soon.
Yeah, I mean, Karis is just naturally going to be going down in gold in this matchup. We really want to see him, as I pointed out in the champs, we want to see him find some kind of an early game favorable outcome. We want to see him use his champion to introduce some kind of volatility to the game, have something go his way. I think that's going to be a lot more practical once he gets the proto belt. He's currently just now sitting on the alternator, and his champion really unlocks with that proto belt. He's got the Recon ulti here. You can make something happen for sure.
Bout has the cat on his lap. And he's going over to help Monki take the first grub. That's going to be the paranoia used straight onto a Bout. He's going to back off with the final chapter being popped. There's going to be Mom called from Creme. Monki's getting a little bit low, but he's got that regen coming through. Karis goes for the quickness. There's going to be JiaQi popping that lightning, but it's going to be Cube with his own lightning strikes. It's like Zeus in the sky of this best of 5. It's Creme that overextends, but he has to flash away, and he is fine. Grubs will be restarted potentially by WE.
Yeah, I mean, such a close fight. Really well played from Karis there, just holding the quickness for the right moment. He finds 369's overextension, calls him out for it, gets the 1 kill. That was the kind of fight where one team could just blow open the whole game and Loki just aced the enemy team. But both teams playing quite reserved, not really putting themselves too much in harm's way. Only really 369 able to go down there. But really advantageous for WE securing another objective for themselves. This one, not so impactful. The Grubs, I would say. I mean, their comp can't make the most usage of it. It's just nice that the enemy team doesn't get it. You know, they've got range advantage with this Smolder or something like that. He'd be able to get gradual value over the course of the game. But all things considered, an even outcome, I would say. I don't think that this necessarily helps WE's chances all that much. They had to expend a lot. You know, the flash from Cube, Monki, Karis, all of Yaoyao sums. Whereas 369 might be able to use his 500 gold lead now with his flash advantage.
I was going to say a little side note at this point is Creme's doing a pretty good job of keeping those stacks rolling. Almost at 100 already. Obviously, the fluctuation of stacks has changed a lot, but in the mid lane, you're going to be getting access to a lot of those minions, a lot of those skirmishes that are going to bring Creme online. Got to remember, 225 is the number. Once he hits that, I think it's going to be tough unless WE can find access onto the little tiny dragon. We are getting closer and closer to those first items. Karis having been the first to the table for WE. Meanwhile, you have that hex plate completed for NaiYou. Now the heart steal there for Monki.
You're absolutely right about Creme having a really good stack rate right now, because typically you want to get at 225 about minute 22 and a half. You know, you want to get about 10 stacks per minute, but usually you don't get the 10 stacks per minute in the first 10 minutes. Usually the first 10 minutes is a lot harder to stack. You maybe get like 70 or 80 if you're lucky. And then it's the second 10 minutes where you really get a lot more. You get like well over 100. But him having 100 at minute 10 is a really fast pace. It means he could easily have a pre-minute 20 execute.
Be big, but it's not like the end-all be-all. As Monki's looking for a cheeky play here, as because again the scaling is so massive for both of these teams, and the execute's going to be huge. But it's all about the actual personal execution. Speaking of, a little bit of personal vendetta towards the top side as 369 goes into pool at the exact time, and NaiYou picks up his second kill on this Nocturne.
A really big kill up there on the top side. Now it's just a matter of this bot side. Does WE have any decent kind of trade here?
The trade mid lane. The moms come to fight again. You might call them Karens, but at this point it's going to be just a duel of the fates in mid lane, I guess, over and over again between Karis and Creme.
I mean, I'd love to see if the camera could just go all the way up to the sky and see the two dragons flying at each other, one of them being a literal clone or something. I don't know how Karis manages to do that. You know, how Silas can steal someone's mom. That seems pretty interesting. But anyway, really, really nice that they're getting the second Drake here, Mazel. I swear, I'm just a Drake believer, man. And you're getting 2 of these right now in this early game. Sure, you're down 2K, but these Drakes are worth a lot.
They are indeed, and I think we've seen a big trend now. The top esports have been typically getting those first 2 dragons, but for this game, WE taking center stage on that one. A little bit of a shift of priorities as top esports still have managed to have about a 2,000 gold lead. They are also getting to their quests first. They already have 3 completed before WE even has 1. And Creme continues to be at a massive stack count now, almost 140 in this 12.5 minute game.
Yeah, that is a really good pace here for Creme. He's going to complete the cull as well. He's going to have a huge lead in this mid game. Even though Karis has the kill, he's just naturally generating a huge lead with this last pick of the draft.
Speaking of, I just realized that the brain math wasn't working. 369 is almost 2 levels up, or is 2 levels up on Cube, and those are like full levels.
Yeah, he's a full 2 levels up. You're absolutely right. It's that top lane quest proc. Once you get that, you get a huge influx of XP, and the sooner you complete it, the better, because that means you're gonna get increased XP for the rest of the game. So that's the case with the bot lane and the top lane quest, where it does scale with how soon you complete it. That just means 369's lead is just gonna, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
He's still looking for his access somewhere. He's been poking. He's been moving into the enemy jungle, but he hasn't been able to find anything just yet. Now 369 is just being annoying on this top side. As you see that quest completion for Cube. Does get him to level 10. NaiYou will spot out Monki. He can take this fight as well. He knows how to shred tanks. As Karis connects the abscond, ducked on a 369, but he's the tanky target. He can heal. Has a lot of that on Vamp, at least the the vampire himself. As Monki and WE still look for something. Fengyue is here to engage. You also have the paranoia available from NaiYou. They are waiting.
Yeah, I mean, Monki could technically be a target there, but he's literally a Mundo with ulti.
On the hunt just got popped.
Oh, that's a big deal, because this is just kind of the pre-positionings in preparation for this Rip Herald spawn. Losing an ultimate cooldown like that can definitely have a pretty big butterfly effect, so we're going to end up seeing how things look at minute 15 in this top river.
So a little side note, about 1,000 gold lead for Creme in the mid lane. His Cole had been completed as well. Give him a huge boost of gold. Now he's just left in the side lane trying to poke down Karis with Fengyue coming over as well. Karis going to heal a decent amount from his king. Oh, Karis going to chase him down. Gets the quickness out. And now he's going to use his own quickness, but the flap gets Creme away.
No way does that Smolder not get charmed there. You got to feel for Karis. That could have really been an opportunity. And Cube hanging onto this tower by a thread. 369 wants this nonsense to come to a stop. Looks like this tower is going to be his to claim. Should be the first of the game. And nowadays, first blood tower is actually a really big deal. This Vladimir is going to be even more accelerated, Mazel.
How awesome is it to see a vintage Vlad from 369, a guy as storied as time, it feels like, in the LPL. A guy who felt like he wrote the book on playing tanks in topside. Now playing this Vladimir, he's just going to be tanky as all get out. And something to deal with for WE, who still have all that scaling we talked about of their own.
Yeah, I mean, this
will
is
be about a minute.
Love about Game 5s, Mazel, is that you get to see these really interesting champions. You almost never see Vlad, but it makes you wonder why not, because he's having such a big lead for himself, and he's just going to be such a menace this game. I don't know how you're going to deal with this Vlad once he gets 2-3 items.
Have to hope that About is able to do some good, consistent damage. I'm sure they're going to be getting some heal cut here as well as soon as possible. We do have first items for pretty much everybody, and Rift Herald is up, so Top Esports, they're just going to start it up.
Yeah, Top Esports starting this one up here, but the Drake is spawning in 25 minutes, so it's just up to WE if they want to play into the top river or the bot river here. Looks like Monki is low-key bluffing. I don't think they want to fight this. I think he maybe wants to see if he can get a cheeky smite or something like that. But yeah, I like this a lot more. Play for the bot river here, but I don't think Top Esports is going to be all too welcome of that idea. I think Top Esports, I think if WE plays for this Chemtech Dragon, Top Esports is going to snap on them like a trap door.
Team almost cresting 200 stacks. Here comes the play from NaiYou, going for the mid lane play. He doesn't get the turret, has to use Spell Shield instantaneously. The turret gonna just barely survive while Creme is farming up down here by his lonesome. Gonna pick up a little bit of that extra gold, a little bit of those extra stacks, as well as the fight seems to be coming down towards this dragon.
Yeah, I mean, Creme is over 200 stacks for now. WE, they want to pull off a heist here. Get this dragon and not die.
You get a lot of stacks
really
from the skirmish, too. Every time he hits an ability, he gets stacks. He's getting closer and closer as NaiYou comes over the paranoia. He's going to go for the 50-50. It's going to go the way of Monki. He secures the palace, but can they save everyone inside? It's WE looking to make this stand here at the dragon. They've already got 3 of them, but they're losing health bars. Monki is healing. He's got the Yumi on top of him, but no longer. The cat has abandoned him. And so has the rest of WE.
Ooh, not bad at all. You got the smite fight, and Vladimir just expended the flash. He might even go down.
369.
Oh no.
That was a mistake.
That was a huge mistake. That was even a blunder, if I may go as far as to say. This Vladimir with the 2k gold lead, being the extremely fed and ahead top laner. He didn't quite piece that cosmic drive together yet, and gosh, that's really good for WE, everything that just happened.
Creme is going to hit. This might be the fastest Smolder, the new age fastest Smolder. I mean, he's even close to rookie's number when Smolder first came out. He has hit 225 18 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, that is a huge deal, but we're just going to have to see how much that ends up mattering, because it's going to come down to a Dragon Soul fight that somehow, some way, WE is in contention for. They've got all 3 of the first dragons, despite the fact that the early game has been going nothing but tops away. So really good that they're able to trade these kills back too. Typically, if you're this behind and you're getting away with stealing the Drake, you don't end up getting to have an even trade of kills as well, let alone an advantageous one after 369 over postures and dies. This is really nice for WE. Despite the gold lead, this game is pretty conveniently poised for them.
Going to be some big questions to be answered in those next objectives. Still, state of the game, a couple things going for WE, a couple long-term benefits for top esports now, 4,000 gold up. And it's all about these next moments, that reservation in these setups, because it is still a WE comp who has a clear strategy. Again, we look back to the biggest moments from WE here, and it is the team play that we had seen in their 2 wins.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. When WE was playing all together on the same screen, on the same page, it was working. And when they were doing a bunch of different stuff and Monki being in Narnia, No Man's Land, that's when we were having the problems. So I think this comp is well situated for them to do that that trend that ends up working of them all playing together.
And I just, on that other point, looking at top esports, like, this CS per minute is insane for Creme. I mean, he's at 240 at 20 minutes into the game, and we'll see if it comes to a pull. I know I'm talking about it a lot, but this is like the crucial winning point for top esports against a very tanky Mundo, against all these threats that are going to be coming in.
Yeah, so Creme's got the stacks. Now he just needs the items. I think once he gets Shojin, perhaps with an LDR after that, or I would actually, of course, get the Mortal Reminder with this Executioner sitting there. I would say at that 3-item spike of ER, Shojin, and Mortal Reminder, that's when Creme can really take over this game. I think all these stacks that he's generating so far are just going to mean he's going to just be that much more powerful once he finally does fully come online.
See some scuffles going on there, a little bit in favor of Monki, and he now has Yaoyao at his beck and call here. 2 items in on the Mundo, something we asked about so many times in this series. And Game 5 decider, Monki pulls out his Colt Classic. It's going to be him looking around, trying to figure out who he can make business deals with on top esports. And it's going to be a little bit of pressure towards this mid lane he seems to want to put.
You know, I know that it says that 369 has a 1700 gold lead, but it just doesn't feel like it at all. I think Cube's inventory is low-key better, regardless of that fact. And yeah, so with that being the case, I think the gold lead at the top of the scoreboard is not all that real, especially also because Creme generating extra gold just in general with the cull and such, with the range versus melee. I think compositionally, WE is looking pretty good right now.
Top esports trying to threaten over this dragon. The dragon is soul for them. Monki is overextended, and executions are coming for them. It might not be Elder Dragon, but his wings might soar just as high. Here it comes again. Another call from Mom, but it's not going to hit this time around. Karis tries to go ham, but only gets 1. Cube now immediately pops the slicing maelstrom to get away from Creme, and WE have turned tail.
Both junglers dead. So if any team has the guts to start this dragon, it's no guarantee they'll even last hit it. So I imagine we're gonna get to fight on another front here just to see which team is really gonna get this dragon right now. Monki over positioning.
Have Yaoyao on him.
Yeah, he gets totally blown up here. This Zeri does a lot of damage to this Mundo at this particular stage. Mundo only having a lot of HP, not the most HP regen. Really good try from Karis here. Unfortunately, Fengyue, really good response. And here we go again, round 2.
Has to happen. It must be so. It could be W that just give it. Do you see how much damage that 1 Q just did from Creme on the Monki? It's insane how much damage, how much output Creme is having. Now he's set up for another big fight. Will still have the mom call if he wants to in just a little bit as it's coming off cooldown. Monki stepping up but taking a huge hit of damage. Some burning effects coming through. And Top Esports looking to surround. They have the paranoia from NaiYou, and they have a bead on what WE want to do.
The problem is you need this soul to win, but I don't think it gets easier. You need to get this soul now. There is no later.
He's got the improved blast gun, wants to make an entrance through the dragon pit. He's going to hold. He's going to wait. They're going to wait till they see the whites of their eyes. There goes the engage, slicing Maelstrom onto the back line, and WE, they might have just found it. They needed the damage there, and they got it, but now it's 369 and NaiYou, who should even up the score.
It looked so beautiful, reminiscent of Faker versus BLG, but it just wasn't enough because About and Yaoyao and Monki get taken out on the backside of that. If only they were able to have a slightly better result in the other half of that play with Monki, About, and Yaoyao. That could have been it right there and right then. But honestly, you're still pretty happy with this. It went pretty all right. Beautiful combo here from Karis, getting the chains and the charm into this backline. Matched exquisitely by the Kennen ultimate as well. So beautiful. But unfortunately, Nocturne and Vladimir are able to take out the backline of WE. So we go again.
And I'll stand here and I'll say, I questioned the Nocturne pick. But so far, it's provided the sustained extra damage onto these tankier members, even as well as providing that utility of the paranoia.
Yeah, the paranoia put in some work there. About was just not quite able to survive that. Any way he spins it, whether it's the exhaust, with the redemption, with the Yumi ult, just not enough. Now we just got to see Monki get to level 16 and not die while he's squishy like this.
Gotta make sure the timings are right for WE. Gotta make sure the right ultimates are up. If Monki doesn't have his up, he does not become tanky. He does not have that sustainability, and you gotta make sure Yaoyao is on top of him healing. As now we're gonna actually move over here. They actually are threatening the Baron play now.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard to enter as WE. They don't have a Nocturne ult of their own, but they can just run straight at you with the push Mundo skin. And looks like the sneaky attempt is going to be found out. And that's just going to mean this game is just going to go that much longer with both teams wanting to reset now. We're going to probably have our next frontier on the 5th Dragon. It looks like WE is going to have a pretty decent chance at winning that fight. As I was saying, in the 4th Dragon, it didn't seem like they were going to even have another opportunity to be on even footing with the scaling comp from TES, so they kind of need the Dragon there and then. But with the fight going the way that it did, it was honestly slightly better for WE, the kill trade, just not the objective trade. So they're going to have a very realistic fight going into this 5th Dragon.
Indeed. A little bit of the scaling coming online as Paranoia going to pop straight onto About. He's the one that has the lead right now for WE, and he is eviscerated by 369 as the Vampire comes for it all. It's Top Esports taking down 3 big ones from WE.
Yeah, and it all comes crashing down with About being in a very vulnerable position, pincered beautifully by NaiYou and 369. This Baron is completely gone. Now it's just a question of, can you salvage the rest of the game state to give yourself a chance to secure this soul? Because now TES is in the completely advantageous position to carry out the rest of this game. Now it's definitely do or die on this Dragon Soul.
WE have been in this position before. The format was different last year, especially for split number 3, but they found themselves in Knights Rivals and they failed. They were so close to making it in this playoffs, but now they find themselves at a doorstep they do not want to be at as Top Esports found this big pick.
Yeah, it's just so hard to position there as About. There's not really any effective way to escape that. Even if you run towards your tower, you're not going to make it. If you run to the jungle, unfortunately, there is a Vladimir there who now has a much better inventory than Cube does with this Death Cap and this Dark Seal. Going in is NaiYou.
It's gone a little bit too ham. Did actually end up getting the Paranoia out there, so that's a big tool gone. But they're pushing in the bot lane with this Baron buff, and the Baron buff is already at about a 9,000 gold tower play for Top Esports. That'll make it 12,000. Or 1,200, sorry.
That would be nice.
That would
but
be insane.
It looks like the Paranoia is actually a lower cooldown than the Slicing Maelstrom. Actually, no, it's about the same. So that's just an even ult trade across the board because Cube was level 16 regardless of NaiYou's Hexblade. But those ults are going to be coming up right around the same time as this Dragon. And like I said, I don't think you can give this one as WE because I just feel like you're not going to get another chance with this high of an opportunity to succeed. So you got to make something happen. Playing through the bot lane, Baron Buff still has about 80 seconds left. This is really difficult to execute.
He's going to try to walk at people. This is his signature, but look how much damage he takes from Creme and Co. The execution, it's not enough, but NaiYou has come back into the fight. Creme, he's trying to get something going. There's Mom called as well, but it's not in time. You have WE trying to make a little bit of a play here. Cube still has a health bar, but he is just there with Yaoyao, and Yaoyao, the last kitten on campus. It's WE gone from the map, and Top Esports taking 8,000 gold lead.
We're looking at about 30-second, if not more, death timers across the board, but alas, they cannot end the game as Top Esports. Their comp has absolutely reached a critical mass threshold, so I feel like it's pretty much all she wrote for WE, but on the bright side, they are going to live to fight another day.
The fact that he lived for a little bit longer there is pretty nice from Monki. A little bit of back and forth with the ultimates, though, but unfortunately, WE had lost too many pieces, and 369 is reigning supreme right now on the Vladimir. Look how much healing he got there. Jesus.
He just purchased an entire Zhonya's Hourglass off of the back of that fight. So, yeah, this gold lead that 369 has been generating in this series is a bit ridiculous.
At a, what, 7.2 thousand gold lead? Now he's working on a 5,000 gold lead individually against Cube.
Yeah, he has really proven that point that 369 is in a tier above Cube, if not many tiers above. I fully understand what I was missing now.
The man has been a staple. Again, I felt like he wrote the book on tank top lane for LPL. And hey, now he gets the chance in our first best of 5 to bring out his classic Vlad. It's going to be a continued push. I think, again, though, the thing that's been making all of this work is you have the execute factor of Creme, that at 18 minutes into the game, Smolder hit his stacks. And I just think it's so hard to approach any fight when you're getting chunks of your health bar taken away every couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we're pushing 400 stacks here on this Smolder. That just means any given Q is just going to do ridiculous amounts of max health true damage to you. You're just going to be taking way more damage than you can possibly handle. And at least Monki, he's able to pick up the Randuins. It is very effective this game, given that Creme and JiaQi are critical strikers. But the bright side, the silver lining that I'm focusing on here is about. He's literally playing Sivir, so in theory, you can clear the waves forever, right?
In theory. On paper, my dear friend. But in reality,
You're just going to get Nocturne ulted and Rakan and Vladimir ulted. And
the Zeke's convergence here for NaiYou, too. They're going to go for the play.
He's going to use the Zeke's right now.
He's a little bit of distraction. There's the Zeke's coming in, and even Cube cannot stand against the might that is the all-darkening Top Esports.
Yeah, and that's why theories are just theories, because sometimes when push comes to shove, the theory does not hold true. And with Sivir being dead here, it's almost impossible to defend this push, this onslaught that Top Esports is bringing. They really had a long series here, taking us through a chaotic 5 games, but they want to end it here and now.
They found themselves as champions of Split 1 in 2025. Then they found themselves in the Knights Rivals play-ins in 2026. But that is all for naught now that they look to claim their spot in the playoffs, in that group ascend for Split 2, and all they have to do is knock down WE a couple more pegs, as now it's going to be Top Esports actually backing away because they don't have the minions. A little bit of healing coming in from 369 as he should heal a chunk of damage there. It'll be Fengyue dying, and that should be the re-engage from Q that finds a couple kills.
Mazel, I don't think this was how that was supposed to go. It looks like WE has absolutely everything they could possibly be hoping for taking place right now. Cube wants to take out Creme here, meaning they're probably going to get the Baron Nashor either which way. That was a generational throw if I've ever seen one.
You just disrespected WE. And now you got to make sure that you're in time for this next Dragon fight, as they will have the Baron buff. They'll have many pushing lanes, and WE show a little bit of life.
Yeah, WE out of absolutely nowhere. Almost getting their Nexus Zillion ulted or something. I've never seen anything like it. They're just fully back in the game now. And, I mean, yeah, they're down 8K, but they got a Baron buff. They got a lot of gold just then.
Taking a look back at that fight, a little bit of a toughie.
Yeah, I think what happens here is about being the 5-head he is, he died as soon as possible to the Nocturne ult so that he could respawn as soon as possible and catch them off guard with this late game Sivir pick. Look at all the plus 1Ks going around too. That just feels so good.
It does. And now 8,000 gold up still. Dragon in 20 seconds. Baron on WE. Top Esports got to find a plan. And maybe it's just to pick Monki out. One more big fight and they just win the game. Monki needs to get out. He's healing so much from the regen from his ult. Also getting the final chapter out of Yaoyao. That's all the tools they have. Cube looking for an angle now. They go try to get in the backline. The quickness comes through though. You have bomb called as well. So much healing coming down, but Creme has started to cook. And Creme has started to plan as he gets another couple kills.
I mean, surely that's it, right? Like, you would imagine that this is enough to end the game. Fengyue being down, it is technically a 3v4 here, but I just can't imagine Kennen and Mundo can prevent them from getting this wave to the Nexus and ending it here and now.
They just need to push one more time. Again, they were champions in Split 1 last year, and now they just need to make their mark on these playoffs. They need to earn that spot in Group Ascend, and they will do so. One last gasp effort from WE, but Top Esports remain at the top of the table. They turn onto the Nexus, and they turn on a Game 5 win. Top Esports to playoffs.
GG. That's what you love to see out of Top Esports there. You know, they were brought to the brink. You know, they really had an up and down series, making a lot of mistakes. Even at the end there, not able to fully close it out. I think that was quite an encapsulation of what was going on this series. You know, a lot of mayhem, a lot of really, really ridiculous things going on. So many kills. I would love to see how many kills took place in this best of 5. But if you ask me, that just set the tone for a great evening. We still got a whole series left and for a great playoffs. This is just going to be the best LPL postseason yet.
Our first series, it's 5 games. Back and forth, bang. I know these players are tired. The Top Esports end up finding the win, and off the back of an incredible 3-6-9 series of play on the Vlad, and a couple of those other games too. About a 7.2K lead for him individually in the second to last game. But there we go. Top Esports earn it, and WE now have to fight for their lives in the Knights Rivals.
Yep, good news is, as you just said, they do have an additional life in this Knight Rivals postseason. They're going to be able to play against some of those middle-of-the-pack teams. Hopefully, they're going to get to dodge LNG, because that is definitely a team who is one of the contenders, even though they've only got the 1 life. So, you know, WE losing a life here, it is what it is. You're still in this postseason. You've still got a really good shot of going somewhere. Clearly, you've got some kind of substance to this team that can get somewhere. You just kind of got to find a way to mold it in the right way, perhaps with the drafts, getting Monki on the right kind of champs, getting the team to play in a certain way, getting Karis on these kind of wild card X Factor picks. There's a lot of good things here, even though they just lost this series for WE.
Yeah, I think so. It finally showed some of that WE that we had seen in the regular season, which had been missing, I feel like, over these last couple series they had played. So really nice to see from them at least a little bit of a comeback in that regard, but it still is a question of what happens next for them and the comps that they're going to be looking at. And speaking of, for Top Esports, honestly, throwing a couple wrenches in the works, a couple really bad decision-making trees in a couple of those games, but besides that, it felt like the games that they were in control, they were truly in control.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I'm trying to remember exactly which ones. It was Game 2 and Game 3. Top Esports just fully sealed the deal. They just played better, they cleaned up, and they did the job nicely. And in that game 5 as well, they for the most part just had the momentum their way the whole time. And yeah, but their hiccups were pretty bad. So I think they just need to find a way to, you know, keep those good things good, but find a way to make the bad things less bad, because a lot of those mistakes were just really, really costly. You know, it's fine for a really good League of Legends team to make mistakes, but you just don't want them to be that expensive.
Yeah, I think, and it can't be if you want to try to make the run, which W weren't able to do in the last split of LPL last year. And something that they'll have to come back to is with these this squad that they have that they're trying to rebuild with. And we'll be taking a look at the post-game stats here. Again, all in control. Top Esports, Creme, insane. I want fact checking. I might be reach out to Leo with LCS and see, but that
I like Leo.
That scaling of the stacking and finishing that at like 1825 or whatever it was, insane.
Yeah, that's probably a new Smolder speedrun world record, at least for tier 1 leagues in season 16. Really fast from Creme there. And as for MVP, I think it's gotta be 369. I mean, how can it not be after another, what was it? These are probably a 6K goal lead at the end of that. Just ridiculous sights coming in from this top lane here, and really shutting me up about 369 versus Cube in that top lane.
You know, 369 teaches once again. He's always a teacher. But that means they're going to an interview. We'll get the POG and the player of the match afterwards. But that's it for your first best of 5.
Yeah,
the LPL went the
GGs.
distance. Want to get thoughts or feelings coming into the end of Knight's Rivals over the next couple days?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. We got to even get the Rafa Silver Scrapes going. Couldn't have asked for a better best of 5. That was amazing. Chaos from start to finish, and this is what I love so much about the LPL. You just never know what's going to happen next, who's going to come out on top, and that was glorious. I can't wait to watch what happens in this next series tonight.
It was a pleasure, and that is true. We still have another best of 5 after those Silver Scrapes came through. So we will have Dia and Quacks coming in for that second